Alright guys, welcome back to the channel Techado again, and I was not about to make any video for the coming 1 or 2 weeks because there's literally nothing much going on. So I will drop an episode for your Sunflower Land, and because that's a project that we are still ongoing with. But a lot of people had asked me this question in Discord, in Twitter also, that what happens when Pegaxy's liquidity pool goes down to zero. So in this video, I'm just going to give you a core concept of what does liquidity stands for, two articles that will help you out. So if you really want to be in any sort of market and you want to know how this DeFi works, how crypto finance actually works or anything, to understand the mix, there will be two articles that I'll be posting down below that you can refer to. As a matter of fact, if you guys want, I can even take out one of those articles and show you. In that way, you get a clear picture of what might happen when liquidity goes down all the way to zero. So let's quickly jump in to our desktop live scene and show you something that has been happening for the last few days. So this 217 USDT pool that you see right up there at the top, which is going to be this guy, was actually sitting all the way down to zero. To be honest, it was actually $0. What actually has happened is a token imbalance, and that has been happening for the last 3-4 months. So this is liquidity where two sort of tokens are matched equally and added to a common pool. And when you add these two tokens, in this scenario, VIS and USDT, so an equal amount of VIS versus equal amount of USDT has been added to the pool, what happens is that in a nutshell, or in a very, very easy way, whenever somebody is minting and they want to take out, cash out for USDT, they can, right? So for example, a scholar has got 30,000 VIS. So what he does is he trades his 30,000 VIS for the amount of USDT that's left. Now, if this pool goes to zero and becomes zero, in a very, very easy way, a person who has VIS pooled on him in their wallet, they would not be able to exchange anything because in the pool there is nothing left. Okay, so to understand this concept in depth, or to dive in deep, you have to understand that this sort of liquidity and liquidity pool only exists it doesn't exist in like regular finance. It actually exists only in crypto, and there's something called AMM that you can learn later on. Basically, this is an automated code where this code actually maintains the pool and everything. So it's not a human generated, nobody has supervision on this. This is a form of code that actually maintains this. Now, also in a very easy way, try to understand this part, that supply versus demand. So there is lot of supply for VIS and very less demand for VIS, while there is very less USDT but very high demand for USDT. So, and we have been tracking this, we have been talking about this, that the pool is getting touched. The liquidity pool actually doesn't hold anything. So basically, in a nutshell, the in-user bank, that I would refer to that, you would say as an in-user bank, that bank doesn't have any money. So that is the reason, I was telling that Curtains Fall Edition video was made, and I made that video dedicated to let you know that this is about to happen, and this actually happened because there is no way around it. But you know me, that I do constructive criticism, which means it's not about giving you the bad news. Is there a way to recover from this? 100%. There is 4 to 5 alternatives where you can still recover, but it also depends how eager is, lot of us are, how eager I am, how eager you are, how eager the team is. Can we sit down, have some conversation about it? So there's a lot of ways to do it. First way that actually was done by Thetan. I don't know whether you guys know or not. This is Thetan Arena. Thetan Arena launched that time when Pegaxy was at its high, and the token price was not that much, and they were doing good right in the beginning, but after that, their players' interest got dropped and everything. Otherwise, it's an amazing game, to be honest. So what they did was that they did a 1 billion Thetan coin kind of a buyback. So buyback is usually the approach whenever game devs that wants to support the game, they actually try to do something for the game, is by doing buyback. Now buyback is an option that was presented to Pegaxy by a lot of their Discord, I think, guild members and stuff like that. It was presented to them, but apparently there was no interest on that. So that's another option which they can actually implement in the future, and they should definitely look into something like that. This is another option, is to burn all the vis. So here is another concept. A concept that is very, very arguable but still doable is if all guild owners, and actually as a matter of fact all users come in, and all users have to decide that whether they want to burn all of their vis or not, and do a fresh restart for this game. Because in this scenario, you literally just don't have anything. But the problem is that a lot of people will argue that it is actually my hard-earned, vis. We earned this. We played this game for months after months, and that is how we banked roundabout. Some people banked like 1 million. Some people banked like 2 million, 3 million, and 5 million, and here on. But isn't this the truth that? So, for example, let me connect my wallet. As a matter of fact, I actually did not open my MetaMask. So let me show you a small example. If your token, so for example, I had roundabout like 1 million vis still there. I mean, nothing is racing. I told my scholars there's no purpose of racing. I moved my scholars to a lot of other directions, and told them to play other games only because they want to make some money on the side. So if suppose everybody depletes their vis, which is again very theoretical and it's probably not going to happen, requires a lot of discussion. Vis literally gets away from our thing. Yes, we lose a lot of money, but then we can again restart the game because our assets, which are our NFTs, will hold a lot of value. So that is another route. So I'm giving you different routes. So first route is that, second route is that. What is the third route? Third route is utilizing the 676 people, those who want to stay in the game, has to provide liquidity. And yes, I know now I'm talking about governance in in a space where there is no governance at all. But we can provide a little bit of governance in this section, where we can actually ask people, those who wants to play, to provide liquidity, and those liquidity providers will earn vis, right? So how are we going to put scholars in the picture? That is also another elaborate discussion. I'm not going to go through. I'm just giving you routes. There are several ways to recover this game. So my dear friends, why am I giving recommendations still? Over the years, we found out that the developers, they are amazing. They develop the game, and the game actually looks pretty amazing. And over the years, they have made this game look brilliant. Remember back in the days how Pegaxy was, and right now you look into Pegaxy, the game actually looks good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. All the strategies that was there, they implemented it late, but we understood one thing, is that our knowledge, we as a common people, as common investors into a Web3 game, I'm talking about Web3. Why? Because you join the crypto world just to play Web3. You will not play a Web2 game, because if you have to play Web2 game, you can go to my Twitch. We play Warzone all day. That's a Web2 game. that our knowledge is very similar to the knowledge of finance that basically the team has. They did it in a different way. They understood literally after Valentine's Day and 3 or 4 of their events that things are not going nice. So they went and made Maui Labs. They made Maui Labs, and after they made Maui Labs, this just becomes a portfolio game for Maui Labs. So understanding that there is no knowledge in finance, we can always have constructive kind of a criticism in any sort of game. And I think like if we explore our options, there's plenty of ways this can come back. But it is also eagerness of the team. It's very it was very concerning for me when I did hear the news when Roca and other developers that they left the game, and now we are running with some ad hoc devs from Vietnam, I think so, and let's see where this thing goes. And I do not want to make any sort of other videos on Pegaxy as of now until and unless things comes back. And that is the reason you guys might not have seen any videos on Pegaxy. But here is a small article that I'm going to post to you a link where you need to know what is a liquidity pool. So I found this very good article and how it works and everything. Please make sure you have a thorough knowledge about liquidity pool and how it works. I will also post another link down below what happens to liquidity pool when liquidity pool gets totally depleted. So these two materials, I think I'm 100% sure will make you understand what will be the future when Pegaxy's USDT pool or this whole pool goes down to 0, which means that when it hits that percentage, all of these scholars, those who have a lot of, basically you're going to end up having tokens that are of no value. And as this thing says that if there is not enough liquidity for a given trading pair, here for example out here is FIS and USDT, the users will be stuck with a token that they cannot sell. This is pretty much what happens with the word. I'm not going to say the word, but it can also happen naturally if the market does not provide enough liquidity. So this whole thing that in your mind, this is the letter rug pull, it's not happening. Rug pull is not happening. So remember, this is that the market is super bearish and the team is still developing the game and everything. They're doing their job. We don't know what's going on. They don't want to talk about tokenomics. Yes, everybody reaped the benefit when tokens were super high. People, those who joined the game early, the devs, those who were there, the team players, those who were there, the content creators in the beginning also had reaped benefits when the token was super high. So at this time, we need more solidarity in the community. I think people from spheres of like the team and everything should come down and talk with about liquidity and how they're going to solve the problem of tokenomics, even though there has been discussions that there will be no talking about tokenomics for the coming few weeks or so, few months or so, until unless the game is fully developed. But as far as I have known, as far as my prediction goes, and as far as more or less 80% of the predictions that we have been doing in the channel comes out to be true for some reason. It's just going to be a game as a portfolio for Maui Labs. That's pretty much it. I'm still in the game, as you can see. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just there. I'm just trying to come up with a concern that's inside you, and this is all the concerns that goes through my Discord, and I'm not going to show you all the thing and everything, but these are all the people that are asking me these sort of questions, and this is an answer to all of you. Please go through this material, try to understand what liquidity is. If you did not understand, I tried to mention you in a very small nutshell that liquidity is a balance between two tokens. When one of your tokens when people start to convert, but instead they are not adding anything into it, you have a void, which means that later on your tokens, you'll be just holding tokens which have no value at all. So I think the time already passed when we had reached like 3 zeros. Whenever you see a token's value is like 3 zeros, it's already gone. I mean, at that point, nobody should be staying also. We should have even left probably 0.00 or something like that. But I wanted to see the end of this, like there was a lot of people, those who were stuck, and hence, I stayed with all of you folks. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this presentation, and you understood the concept in a very nutshell, what is liquidity and how liquidity actually works, do share it with your friends and family and let them understand, so that later on in any other projects, we don't have to ask this question to ourselves: what is liquidity, how do I add liquidity, or anything. Yeah, see you folks on another episode. Till then, goodbye.